Good afternoon, happy Tuesday, and welcome to Coffee and a Card. So I am Holly with Handcrafted Blessings, and we've got a lot to do today. I'm packing it all in. I've got a whole bunch of happy mail to show you, some new designer series paper, and then we're also going to make a project together. So it's going to be super fun, and I promise not to keep you for an hour. How does that sound for fair? Okay, here we go. All right, so welcome everybody as you're coming in here today, or if you're watching later on the replay. And hello to those of you watching on YouTube. So I have started putting these videos over on my YouTube channel, so it's been fun to welcome you guys into this community as well. So hello. All right, we're going to start with some happy mail, which is what I call it when y'all send me cards, because I love to show off your creativity, what you've been working on. And it also gives all of us new ideas for our crafting. So my phone holder keeps sinking, so I'm going to fix that here real quick. I'm just going to tighten it back here. There we go. That should hold it up better. Otherwise, I have to like keep shrinking in my seat to stay in the camera. So, all right, we will start here with one from Sherry Miney in Colorado. And, oh, she's decorated the outside of her envelope. And here we go. Oh, and this is actually some of the paper I'm going to show you today. So this is the new, let's see, it's sitting here in front of me because I'm going to show you this new paper. It's called Meandering Meadows. So after I'm done with Happy Mail, I'm going to show you this new designer series paper. But that's a beautiful card using it. All right, next we have one from Mickey Sewell in Arkansas. Oh, that's really pretty. Using that All About Autumn paper. And she has heat embossed this leaf. That's why it looks so shimmery. See if I just kind of catch the light there. And it says, "So Thankful." That's not from the autumn set. So that is actually from the, I think it's called like Seasons of Cheer or something like that, set. So, and now this is really cool. You can see here, instead of using white on the inside, she's actually used crushed curry, because you can totally write on crushed curry. So you don't always have to put white inserts in your cards. You can definitely do other colors as well, which is a fun tie-in to the front of her card. So I like that idea. Okay, we've got one here from Kim Glover from Minnesota. Says, "Wishing you the warm blessings of Christmas," which goes perfectly with my Christmas outfit that I'm wearing today. I just got this new shirt in the mail, and it has like Santa Claus and Christmas trees and all the things on it. And then I have my Christmas poop earrings, and I have a Christmas scrunchie. Y'all, it is Christmas time, and I am here for it. So this is a fun double Z-fold, not Z-fold, flap fold card there. Okay, we've got one from, oh, I can't read the name. I think it says Linda. Let me see if it says more on the inside. It's not signed. I think it's from a Linda. It's a little hard to read, but she's from New York. So, and we've got Merry Christmas, and you can see there the embossing folder there on the background. Hi, Jackie. That's really cute. I like that. And those are embellishments. So very cute. Jean. Yes, exactly. I do love all things Christmas. Oh, and look, we have another card using that Meandering Meadows. Because you guys, this designer series paper is absolutely stunning. It'll do the work for you. You really don't have to add a whole lot to your cards when you use this designer series paper. So I'm excited to show that to you. And I like how she added just a small strip of the distressed tile embossing to the side of the card. That's really cool. So I'll set these over here, and I will go ahead and just put my camera down so we can go ahead and look at that paper, because I've kind of teased you by showing you a couple of cards made with it. So now we will, let's move that stuff out of the way. Now we will actually look at the paper. So this is the one called Meandering Meadows. And so if you haven't noticed, Stampin' Up! Has introduced what is called online exclusives. And what that means is those products are only available online. So what that means is you won't find them in a catalog. Now, if you email your orders to me, or you're one that calls me with your orders, you can still order those things. It doesn't mean you're required to order them online. It just means you won't find them in a catalog. So that's what it means by online exclusive. And they release online exclusives every few months. And this paper was one of those. So this is called Meandering Meadows. There's a lot of coordinating colors. There's like 14 of them or something, a lot. So these are all painted papers. So I'm going to show you, there's 4 of each design. So here we've got, let's see, I'll try to say some of these colors as we go through. Actually, I'm just going to read them all because I changed my mind. So we've got Balmy Blue, Basic Black, Blueberry Bushel, Cherry Cobbler, Crushed Curry, Fresh Freesia, Garden Green, Granny Apple Green, Highland Heather, Lemon Lime Twist, Melon Mambo, Night of Navy, Orchid Oasis, Pecan Pie, Petal Pink, Pumpkin Pie, Shaded Spruce. Y'all, I think I just named like half of our colors, it feels like. There are so many coordinating colors in this paper pack. So you have these gorgeous designs that, like I said, you wouldn't have to add much to the front of your card in order to have a beautiful card. So here's the next scene. And you've got, this is my favorite background. I love this side of the paper, but green's my favorite color, so all things green are going to work for me. So we got this scenery with another green background. Got some of those Melon Mambo flowers here, kind of artistically painted. And there's the background of that one. It's that path and tree. And they're just kind of, I don't know my artwork, so I don't know what this style of art is called, but beautiful. That's what we call this style of art, right? It's just very pretty. Okay, so here's the background of that one, or backside, I should say. Some yellow flowers. And so you can see from those 2 cards that we had in Happy Mail, here, let me get my charging cable out of the way. From those 2 cards that we had during Happy Mail, there's so much that you can do with these. And if you don't want the painted fronts, you can just use some of these gorgeous backsides as well. All right, so this one has kind of the flowers here, and then some similar looking ones on the backside. So 6x6 packs have 48 sheets in them, so 12 different designs, and 4 of each design. So I just wanted to show you that pack, and it worked out perfect that we had a couple of Happy Mail using those. So let me grab these really quick. So now that you've seen the whole paper pack, let me show you those 2 cards again. So you can see here where they've really tried to preserve some of those scenes using larger chunks of the paper. And this one, just cutting off part of the strip to stick it on the inside. So maintaining that scene across the page. So really, really pretty. Okay, so that is one of the new online exclusives, and there's more. You can go to my online store and click on online exclusives, and you will see everything that came out new this month. So it's all there. So I just want to encourage you to check that out, and I thought I would show you that paper. So over the weekend, demonstrators had the opportunity to attend what's called On Stage, which is our convention. So it was online this time around because we'll be in person in March in Houston. And we got to make some cards together using a new bundle that's coming out in the spring mini catalog. Now, I have to say, I don't actually make many Valentine cards, so I typically don't gravitate towards those sets, but this one was too cute to pass up because I absolutely love the bee. So this coordinates with a punch that you make your bee from, and you're going to see how we make that bee today. There's 2 hearts here, and then you have this, it almost looks like a thought bubble if I put it this way, like one of those, or like the quote bubble, you know, from comics, where they always have the little bubble with the words. That's what that reminds me of. And then 2 hearts. Then there is this sweet sorbet ribbon. What's this called? Bordered ribbon. Sweet sorbet bordered ribbon. There are embellishments. I'll show you the paper in just a second. These are the hearts and flowers. And all of this will be available in the spring mini catalog. So you've got hearts and flowers of different color options. And then there's also a pack of designer series paper. And this is what really captured me for this bundle. So I'm going to try to get this out of here. You can see I've already been using it, so I've got some scraps in here. But these bees are just adorable. And I think they would make super cute, like, wedding and anniversary cards to use these bees. But also, if you don't want to do lots of bee cards, there's also some really great backgrounds on the backside. So here we've got some honey jars. And that has the little path of the bee buzzing on the background. Got some more bees here with the hearts on the back. I like this one. I like this one with the blue flowers. I think that's really cute. And then that's got hearts on the back. Then we've got some flowers and stripes. And then some more bees. And some honeycomb on the back. Okay, so for today's card, I am going to use the honeycomb and the flowers. I'm just going to stick this back in here real quick. Let's see. We're going to try these 2 scraps. I don't know for sure if they're the right size. I don't think they are because they're the same size. So never mind. We'll just start with these pieces. Okay. So we are going to make a card that we made it on stage over the weekend, but I'm going to modify it a little bit. I decided I wanted a little extra, a little more red to my card. And a friend of mine sent me a copy of a card that she had made to modify this, adding a little bit more Poppy Parade. And I thought, you know, I'm going to try to find a way to incorporate some more of that, not Poppy Parade, sorry, Sweet Sorbet, right? Yeah, Sweet Sorbet. So that's what we're going to do, okay? So we're going to start with our card base, which is Daffodil Delight, measuring 5.5 by 8.5. And we are going to score it here at 4 1/4. Okay. And then we'll take another piece of that Daffodil Delight, and we are going to cut this to 3 3/4 by 5. So 3 3/4 by 5. And that's the layer that you already saw on the card that I showed you. But we're going to add that pop of red. Reddish pink, if you will. So this one's going to be 4 by 5 1/4. So 4 by 5 1/4. There we go. So that way these two are going to layer really nicely on top of each other. And then last but not least, we're going to cut our designer series paper. I did not mean to grab the honeycomb, so we'll just return that here. So we're going to use, oh wait, I grabbed the wrong ones. The flowers are right. Let's see. I want those flowers, but then I also want the hearts. So give me just a second. Here we go. Here's the hearts. Okay, so we're going to use these two patterns. So we'll start with our flower pattern, designer series paper. And we're going to cut this to 2 1/4 by 3. Oops. So 2 1/4 by 3. There we go. And then I'm going to cut the hearts at 2 1/4 by 3 1/4. Now the hearts are directional, so I want to be mindful of that when I do this. So I'm going to do, let's see, I'll do 2 1/4 first. I want 2 1/4 wide by 3 1/4 high. There we go. So that way that keeps my hearts going the correct direction. Okay, so for this card, we're going to take our Daffodil Delight ink, and we're also going to be using the Memento Black. So let's block a few stamps here. So this is a photopolymer set, and we're going to be using the honeycomb, and we're going to need the bee stripes and the heart wings. We need a face for him. Let's see, what face? I'm gonna do this face. So we got a tiny little face. And then I need a sentiment. So I'm gonna do a little bit different from my sample. Let's do Be Mine. All right, so we're gonna put all of these on our blocks. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to put the face on one side, and then I'm going to turn it over. I'm going to put the wings on the other side. Then I don't have to get quite as many blocks. I'll put Be Mine here. And then here I'll do the bee stripes and stinger on one side. And on the other side I will put my honeycomb. If you use both sides of your blocks like this, the most important thing is to remember to always set your blocks upright on your surface, because if you have ink on these and you set them down like you might normally, you're going to have ink in places you don't want it. All right, we're going to start with our Daffodil Delight. And I'll just grab a little piece of grid paper here. And we are going to take the Daffodil Delight piece of paper, and we're going to stamp in somewhat random fashion our honeycomb, okay? So I'm going to take this, and I'm just going to turn my paper. If I turn my paper, then I don't have to worry about turning my block. Some of this gets covered up as we'll go along, so you don't have to worry about perfect stamping, because you're going to be adding designer series paper and other pieces to this thing. So we'll just keep turning this, have some going off the page and some on the page. There we go, almost back around. And then we'll stick that there. Okay, I think that's gonna work. So I'll close this up, and we will take our Memento Black ink, and on the bottom of this page I am going to stamp Be Mine. There we go. Oh, got a little fuzzy on there. Okay. So there we've got this sheet. So what we'll do, oops, set these aside for a minute. we will attach this to our layers, and then we'll add it to our card front. Oh my goodness, you guys, you know what I just realized? The coordinating color for this Design and Sherry's paper is Sweet Sorbet. And this is Poppy Parade. But, you know what? It's actually still totally going to work. So we're just going to leave it. But I just realized that I did not exactly grab the right one. But because only a little bit of the mat sticks out, it's not going to be a problem for this card. All right, so we're going to dimensionalize these layers to the front of our card. Yep, Vesta, it totally still works. So these, sometimes reds and pinks can clash pretty easily, but with this, because there's not a lot of it sticking out, it's gonna work just fine. All right, so we're going to adhere our two Design and Sherry's papers together at just a little bit of an angle. Kind of however you want, as much or as little, you know, angle as you want to have it. And then I'm going to take both of those and we're going to stick those on our card front. And this is where, if your honeycomb wasn't quite evenly stamped or you messed up in a spot, you really get to cover up a bunch of it with your Designer Series paper. Okay, so we'll set that aside and we will do some more stamping. So we're going to take 2 pieces of basic white. These are 3 3/4 by 5, and that's simply because that is the size I cut for my inserts. And so I just grabbed 2 of those. The first one, we are going to stamp for the inside of our card. And I just want to add some honeycomb to the inside of my card. Just like that. There we go. And then we'll take our Memento Black, and this actually just needs to be a scrap piece of paper. This is what we're going to use to make our bee. Now, when you're working with punches, you want to be mindful of the way that, I'm going to totally put my hand in this ink. Let's move this. You want to be mindful of the way that the punch works and how you're going to be putting your paper in order to punch it out. Okay, so I know I'm going to plan to put my paper in this way. Okay, so that means I want my bee stinger to face that way. So we'll start with the bee stinger. We'll put that here. And then I'm going to need 2 sets of wings. And these are angled a little bit to the side. So I'm just gonna kind of follow that angle. And we'll leave a little bit of space between them because, you know, a punch does leave a border when you punch something out. Okay. And then we're also going to need, oh, you know what? I forgot one of our stamps. I need the antenna for my bee. So we're just going to take that little guy here. And this one doesn't have anything on the back, so we can use that. And this heart kind of faces upside down, if you will. So I'm just gonna, I can always turn my paper, but I'll go ahead and just stamp it that direction. Okay? So we'll close this all up. And then what we'll do is we will start feeding this into our punch. And I'm going to have to angle it a little bit towards me to line it up, but then I'll show you what it looks like before I punch it out. So we're just lining up that body, and I'm going to get 2 white hearts out of this, which I can use later. So there we've got our bee. And then I'm going to put, oh, I'm going to have to cut part of this off. I'm going to put those bee wings in here. Line those up in the, oh, you know what? I need to cut the other ones first. I am going to cut off the second set of wings if I don't do this the right order. I just noticed that. So I'm actually going to put it all the way through and do that second set first, so that I don't mess those up with the first set. There we go. So it's a heart, but it's a set of bee wings. Okay. Then I'll come back over here and do the second set. There we go. And then last but not least, I'm going to put this in here to do my little antenna for the bee. And it's another little heart. Now, because you get some extra hearts, you could save them for like confetti in a shaker card. You know, you can put them on another card. All right, so let me make sure I keep the plain bee or the plain hearts separate from my stamped hearts. Let's see, here we go. Here's my antenna. There's another plain heart. All right. So now we can stamp our bee face. We need to give him an expression. So I've chosen one that I think is kind of a funny expression. And our bee is going to go upright on this card. And he's just going to have that little face. Okay. So we'll take our bee body and let's put our wings on him. And then also we're going to put the antenna up at the top. There we go. So I've just added some tape. And now I can position my wings where I want them to be. What's fun about this punch is that you also have the hearts. So, you know, completely unrelated to bees, you can use this punch to make hearts for all sorts of projects. So it really becomes a very versatile punch. And if you were to just snip off the little bee stinger right there, you now have a fun little oval that you could stamp your sentiments on as well. All right, we're going to dimensionalize this. And I'm going to put dimensionals over those bee wings so that they are extra secure. And then I'm also going to put one here up by the antenna just to extra hold that on. So take those off. Actually, you know what? I think I need a little bit of dimensional out here. Yes, I do typically go crazy with dimensionals, but I love the popped up look on a card. So we'll stick this little guy here. And then we will grab our flower and heart embellishments. And I'll just add some extra flowers here on our card. Just like that. So I'll turn this over and we'll take that honeycomb piece that we stamped and we'll add that as the insert for our card. There we go. Now you could just as easily pair this stamp set with another set that you have for like happy birthday, you know, thank you, thinking of you. I mean, these bees could be used for all sorts of occasions, but today I thought I would just use the stamps that were in the stamp set to give you that cute little bee. I really like it with the extra pop of red. Let me show you the card we made on Saturday at convention. This was how they directed us. So we all stamped together, on the virtual conference. And so this is how they showed us to make our card. But I thought it was fun to add that little extra pop of red to it. All right, you guys, that's just a fun little project here for today. If you don't have, obviously you don't have this set yet, but you can easily take the layout and substitute it with supplies that you have and make the same type of card. So thanks so much for tuning in to Coffee and a Card today. And don't forget to encourage one another and build each other up. I'll see you soon.